Hello everyone. In today's video I'll be taking up the topic cell, the fundamental unit of life. In this topic in this video actually I'll be discussing a few points related to cell, but the next structure of cell and all we'll be taking up further. Starting up with the structure of cell, first of all we all must know that cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. That is why it is known as structural, because it forms all the structures. Like for example, a human body, it starts from a single cell that divides, redivides and again form a whole human body. In the same way, you can say a flower, it germinates from a seed. A plant, it germinates from a seed. Every living organism starts up from a single cell, and its structure is made up of multiple cells. It's known as functional unit of life. Why? Because a single cell is performing all the life processes. So when they combine together, all of them perform a particular function in our body. Hence it is considered as the structural as well as functional unit of life. Now we all must be wondering like how the cell came into existence. Cell was observed under a microscope, and first of all we must know that who invented that microscope. Antony van Leeuwenhoek was the scientist who invented the first simple microscope. If I say it's a simple microscope, it means that this microscope has only only one lens. Under one lens we can observe the structures, but the cells are not clearly visible, but still it is good for observing, overviewing the structures. After modifications, this microscope was further modified and a compound microscope came into existence, which is nowadays used in laboratories, basically in all the schools, to view the various slides and to observe the cells. Now, who was the first person who observed the cells and coined the term cell was Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke was the first person who coined the term cell. Now, after that, after the discovery, cell was discovered, it was given name, or like a cell was given the name and all. Then, this was like discovery of the first microscope. Then, who gave the term cell? Robert Hooke. Next is the branch of the study of cell. If a person is studying cells, the branch of study of cell in which we study different types of cells is called as cytology. The branch of study of cells is known as cytology. Now we are going to categorize the different cells on the basis of number, shape and size. First of all, number. On the basis of number, cell can be categorized into two types: unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular organisms, uni means one, multi means many. Unicellular organisms are the organisms which are single celled organisms. That is, a single cell, it functions, it works to perform the functions of all the cells. The example would be amoeba. Now, the next are multicellular organisms, the organisms which are made up of multiple cells, many cells. The example would be a human body. A human body is made up of multiple cells, many cells. Now, after that, this was on the basis of number, unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Next is on the basis of shape. On the basis of shape, the cells, they can be categorized into different types. For example, all the cells. Now, I'll just explain it in detail. First of all the cells, even in our body also, all the cells, they have different shapes according to the functions they perform. To explain, it is like all the cells, they have a particular shape so that they perform a proper function properly. I'll just give an example. The example would be like the nerve cell. Nerve cell, it is elongated in shape. It is long, tail-like in shape, like this. And its function is to conduct the nerve impulses. It just acts like wires in our body and conduct the impulses from head to toe, from brain to body and from body to brain. All this conduction is done by this nerve cell. So if it was like, suppose this nerve cell, instead of being elongated, it was circular, how will it be able to conduct the impulses? It will need more number of cells. To avoid this confusion, the shape of the nerve cell is elongated so that it can easily conduct impulses. In this way, there are different cells which have different functions. For example, nerve cell is elongated, RBCs are disc shaped, WBCs are amoeboid, rectangular leaf cells are rectangular, cuboidal. So different cells, according to the functions they perform, are of different shapes. Now, after this, the next is size. On the basis of size, the cells can be categorized as smallest, longest, and largest. Smallest, longest, and largest. That is smallest bacteria, longest nerve cell, largest ostrich egg. Smallest, learn it like this: smallest, longest, largest. Smallest, longest, largest. Bacteria, nerve cell, ostrich egg. It will be easy for you to remember. Smallest cell is the bacterial cell, longest cell. Basically the children, they confuse between longest and largest. Longest cells are the nerve cells and largest cells are the ostrich egg. These are the three types of cells on the basis of their size. Now the last topic related to this is cell theory, a very important topic. There were a bunch of scientists from which two of them, Schweden and Schwann, one was a botanist and one was a zoologist, one was studying plants and one was studying animals. Schweden and Schwann, they did a lot of study over the cells and they came to a conclusion. This conclusion they concluded under two headings. One was that all cells are made, all organisms are made of cells. One conclusion. Second was that cell is basic, structural and functional unit of life. They concluded it in 2 points. One is all the organisms are made up of cells, and second is that all the basic cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. After their study, one more scientist named Rudolf Virchow again studied the research and added one more point to this. That was that all cells arise from pre-existing cells, which says that one new cell is formed from the pre-existing cell. For example, this is the cell, this will divide into two, these two will further divide into two, and furthermore the division will carry on. It means that all the cells, they arise from the pre-existing, pehle se pade hue, pre-existing, which are existing in nature from previously. Pre-existing cells, all the cells are formed from the pre-existing cells. Now this cell theory is termed as the modern cell theory, as was added by Rudolf Virchow. These 2 points, all cells are made, all organisms are made up of cells, and cell is the basic structure and function unit of life, were given by Schweden and Schwann. 1 point added was all cells arise from pre-existing cells, given by Rudolf Virchow. All this, it comes under the modern cell theory. A very important question which states that write the main points of cell theory. The main points are these three. Say who gave the cell theory? Schweden, Schwann and Rudolf Virchow were the scientists to give the cell theory. Now this is all which I want to give in this video, demonstrate in this video. In the next video, I'll be taking up the structure of animal cell as well as plant cell. We'll discuss about all the organelles present and their functions. Thank you.